Hello, everyone. I'm live. I'm a little late to my start time. I said I was going to be here at 11, but as you can see, I just got out of the shower. So as with my last live, I'm going to wait here a little bit and see if anyone hops on. I'm going to talk again about my personal readings and give a little reading for the collective. And I wanted to invite you to ask questions this time so I can speak to you individually. So yeah, I'm just gonna, I do want to be able to use this video later, so I am gonna just kind of, talk as if there were an audience here because, hello, let me know your name and where you're from when you're joining. I'm here. This is Kelsey with Igniting Insight, and I'm here to do a live reading for you guys and talk more about my private readings. And I want to invite you all to ask questions if you have them so I can speak to you individually. So yeah, this is, I'm going to be doing these live readings a lot. So probably 3 or 4 times a week. And my goal is to really just connect more with the community and to, let you guys see what my reading style is and see if, a personal reading is something that you might be interested in or that's something that might help you. So I am an intuitive tarot reader and I read astrology charts. So right now I am promoting my readings with a bonus. So my readings are half an hour for $33 and it's open-ended, so you can ask any questions that you have and we can kind of just go through it intuitively and see what comes up in the cards and hopefully help you move through any kind of blocks that you might have or any kind of challenges you might be experiencing. And the bonus that I'm running right now is going until the Capricorn lunar eclipse on July 17th. Hi, Owen. Nice to see you here. I'm doing another reading for the collective and talking more about my private readings again. So the bonus, again, is to get a personalized reading for what these eclipses mean for you based on your natal chart, so your astrology chart when you were born. So if you go to my Calendly link that's in my bio on Instagram and is posted on my Facebook, you can schedule the reading, pay right there, and also let me know your place of birth, your time of birth, and your date of birth so that I can get that bonus to you. And that's just something I'm going to write up and send to your inbox. So it's really exciting. It's a really exciting way to kind of dive deeper into these eclipses. And I do want to mention that eclipse energy it's strong and it lasts about 6 months. So, even though these are contained within July, it's going to be affecting you for longer. So that's why I wanted to do this offering for both the Cancer solar eclipse that we had on the 2nd and the Capricorn eclipse that we're having on the 17th. So, and then I also, when you just joined, so I wanted to invite you guys to ask questions. Oh, you were? Oh, wonderful. Yeah, and let me know anything you want to share about, how you read tarot or how you use it. And I wanted to invite you to ask questions if you have them so that I can speak to you individually and directly. Otherwise, I'll just read for the collective, but I'm going to give a few more moments to see if anyone else hops on. And otherwise, I'll just get started and pull some cards and just kind of see what comes up. So I have this Oracle deck, the Wild Offering Oracle. I really love using this, especially for, hi there, especially for these Instagram readings because they're so pretty and colorful and they have messages right there. So, it's really like succinct and nice, and then you can kind of expand your interpretation from there. So I'm going to see how do you interpret when you have A particular card that shows in multiple readings. Oh, yeah, that's actually been happening to me, and it's really interesting. Sometimes I get um, the same cards a lot. I'll have like a theme of a few different cards that will just keep showing up. And I just take that as, longer term energy and also a reminder to kind of dig deeper and maybe see what I missed in my first interpretation. So, for instance, I've been getting the Three of Pentacles reversed a couple of times. And I was kind of having a hard time understanding what was the meaning for me. I mean, obviously the Three of Pentacles is about building something and teamwork and working together, and something in the physical with it being pentacles. And reversed, I took it as meaning working alone. I'm going to see if I can find the card here. So I was like, okay, so I feel like the tarot's telling me that what I'm working on right now is more of a solo project, and I need to kind of build things on my own for a little while. And then it came up again, and I thought I really had gotten the whole meaning of it. But when it came up again, I was, I would just ask Spirit, what else is this? And I think for one thing, for this example specifically, I would say, so here's the card. It's just a reminder to continue that, but really I'm still working with this. And the fact that it came up again, it's in my mind now, whereas the first time I might not have remembered it. It's on my mind now, so I am thinking about it. So I'm waiting for the universe to kind of give me messages about what it might mean, and kind of, being aware of signs that might come up to kind of remind me. So tarot and real life are really intertwined, right? And we can take examples from our lives and apply them to the cards to get more meaning, and then we can also apply the cards to our lives to try to get more meaning out of things as they happen. You've had the Emperor show up in 8 out of the last 10 readings you've done for clients. It's a message for you and not them. Oh, how are you interpreting that? I wish I could see you guys on video too. That would be really fun. Oh, hi, Sandra. I'm so glad you're here. If you're joining, let us know your name and where you're from. I'm just here chatting about my private readings and doing a little reading for the collective. And you can ask any specific questions you might have so I can speak to you individually. I'd love to kind of give a little tiny mini reading for you to just kind of give a little peek at what it might be like to get a private reading from me. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I bet it's beautiful there. It's super cloudy here in Portland. It's been kind of muggy and cloudy. I would love to give you a reading. Hi. You're beginning to think that you're getting the message to take more charge of my life. Yeah, that's definitely the Emperor. I wonder, how do you, I would be curious to know, to kind of, I mean, I think it's amazing that you're giving readings for clients, and I would be curious to know kind of what that dynamic feels like for you, and maybe that Emperor showing up specifically in readings for clients where you think it might be a message for you. It could apply specifically to your style of reading, or just kind of, you said taking charge of your life, and I definitely think that's a great interpretation, but I wonder if it could also specifically apply to like your reading style, if that makes sense. And that's just an idea. But I do, I think it's interesting how there can be some crossover between, our energies and our clients' energies. Ideally, we want to tap into just our client and, read for them. But the way I kind of deal with that crossover, if it happens, is realizing that I'm the conduit, right? I'm the vessel. And so like if Spirit wants me to give somebody a message, it's going to have to filter through my own psyche and my own kind of experiences. And so I tend to really see myself as somebody that kind of interprets the collective energy and then reads it or gives it out to you as a message, but I'm at the same time getting the same message, if that makes sense. And that's what a lot of my posts are about. I pull cards for the collective, but the way that I interpret it is, kind of, so what would this mean for me? And then how can that apply to others? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and ask questions. I believe, I don't want to say your name wrong. Is it Jithamo? I think I gave you one of my free readings, which I hope that was helpful. And I'm going to go back to the questions I hadn't gotten to yet and answer those in some of these lives. Let's see. I don't want to miss any comments here. Yeah, I think that's good. I think a lot of people are too technical when they read and need to work on the intuitive part. So that's important. So here's another card that keeps coming up for me like constantly. This is the Six of Cups reversed. So I'm going to go ahead and I wasn't really asking Spirit anything specific for that. And that's just kind of a message for me. I guess I'll mention, like, I've posted a lot about this, and I try to be really open because that's just who I am as a reader and as a person. And I like to share my journey and my experiences and really kind of my thought process behind things sometimes when I feel like it'll benefit people. So something I've been sharing about is my twin flame journey, which I basically posted a few weeks ago that I was completely done with it. And the energy really kind of dissipated for me as far as this connection goes. And I don't know who in here is familiar with twin flames or considers themselves one. But I just, with this card, like, this is my twin flame card. So I felt called to talk about this in this reading. And I kind of woke up feeling like this is what I was going to end up talking about. But it's been coming back with the Cancer eclipse. That energy's been coming back, and I've been really sitting with it and realizing that I'm definitely in a new place with it than I was before. Break with tradition. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if it were to come up with the Hierophant reverse, that would definitely be a break from tradition. Definitely a break from the old, or from, because it's all about childhood and nostalgia and also innocence, but kind of like fond memories. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining. I was just talking. I know that we've chatted a little bit about this through DMs, and I'm just doing a general reading for the collective again, talking more about my personal readings. But I really kind of woke up feeling like I was going to start talking about my twin flame journey, and specifically might read for them. And then I pulled this card, which is my twin flame card, and it's been coming up so much. And then I just pulled this. Okay, so like, we're talking about this, and I hope that it resonates for some of you. It says, "It's not about finding love. You are love itself. Help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember I myself am love." So this is definitely inner child card. So what I was sharing is that I was really feeling done with this journey and just moving on. And I still feel that way, but the connection has been coming back for me. And yeah, you're welcome. The connection's been coming back for me, and I realized that I'm in a different place. So I think it was necessary to go through this. And I'm just really open to the messages that want to come through, and also, being a conduit for these messages as well. I don't, if Spirit wants me to read for twin flames, then I'll read for twin flames. Like, I'm really here to give the messages, the information, and the service that I'm called to give. And so when I said I was, kind of done with the twin flame thing, and I'm kind of just not liking that term anymore, but it's the one that people recognize, so it's kind of the one that I use. I felt really done with it, and it's just something that doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. So So yeah, and I actually had a really good. I was hanging out with a friend last night and really kind of opened up about this and some more details about it and the specifics. And that's something I've never really done before regarding the twin flame journey and experience. And that was really healing to kind of have someone there to hold space for me, which is what happened, and to like realize kind of where I am. You're not big on the twin flame concept, but yeah. And and I think it's really what I want to make it about too, and what I've kind of been realizing is it's so not about the other person. It's about your own inner integration. And so, when people do readings for like divine masculine, divine feminine, and they always say like you can interpret this for yourself. That's usually what I'm focusing on, because really when you're thinking about the other person, it's just attachment, and that's what we're trying to move away from. But I do think we really have these kind of two energies, this like yin and yang in us, that it's helpful to kind of be able to get insight into how to balance those. And I've definitely more on the intuitive and more on the feminine end. And I cleaned up a lot of the kind of the aspects of that side of myself that I didn't like. And now I feel like it's really healthy and good. And now I feel like I'm really kind of working more on my masculine side by you decided to freeze your cords to him. Wow, that's super interesting. The cords have been coming up so much. Mine actually asked me to cut all the cords in the middle of a meditation I was doing to cut the cords. Like, this is the kind of synchronicity that happens in this experience. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with Layla Martin, but she provided a free meditation for cord cutting. And I was halfway in this meditation, and he texted me to tell me to do that. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And really, like, I feel like I cut all the cords from the past, but there's like that one, there's that one that just doesn't go away. And I'm calling it like the cord of unconditional love. And it's like, that's always going to be there, but I'm not doing any work on him or like trying to, I'm just focusing on myself. And I think that's a really interesting way to do it. You froze your cords to him. That's super interesting. I mean, it's just interesting that you would mention cords when this has been, so in my experience lately. And I totally lost my train of thought, of course, but, in integrating the masculine and feminine in yourself. And for me, it's about really doing these lives is using my masculine energy to just kind of be in action and drive and, kind of set an intention and then do it. And so I think it's really good practice for me. So I want to see if anyone has questions that you would like to ask. And obviously the private readings are available, $33 for half an hour session. And you get the bonus eclipse reading if you book before July 17th. So do check out my calendar. I have my link in my bio on Instagram. And if you're watching on Facebook, it will be posted in the comments on this video. And it's also in a separate post that you can find in my feed. But if no one has questions, I'm going to see what else we can get for this. And maybe we can read for those of us that don't resonate with the twin flame. And what I really like term-wise for that is divine counterpart. And what I see it as is it's just a mirror. It's just someone where if you're having a reaction to them, you need to look at what's happening in yourself. And that's really the baseline. It doesn't necessarily need to get more complicated. You can ask anything if you are wanting some guidance in something, or just, it could be general, like, what do we need to know today? We could ask for all of us. But someone asked, well, someone shared in the last live, something a little bit personal, and I just was able to kind of read into that situation to give them some guidance. Pull a card and help to increase divine masculine. Okay. Romantic partner. Yeah, they misinterpret it. No, it doesn't need to be. Working on creating my business. Okay. So for Jennifer's question, we got, so for how to help increase divine masculine, we got the Lovers. So this is, to me, this is what I was just talking about the inner integration. And I'm also hearing love yourself. So that seems really feminine, but you need to get more into your feminine. I love that we're all so different and we can like see that and admit that and then like help each other, work towards things that we're better at or stronger at, and then kind of all like lift each other up that way. So I'm just seeing it as focus on the love. And something I've heard, a lot of people talk about it in the twin flames is the feminine is kind of leading the masculine. So I would say let your intuition lead your action, but then make sure that it's connected, right? Make sure that when you get an intuitive impulse for something to do, that you don't just like let it kind of dissipate or wash away like the feminine would do if it was just feminine, pure feminine energy. You take that impulse or that intuition and then set an intention and follow through. So this is what I've been doing with these lives is I set an intention, I'm going live this time on this day, and then I make sure that I follow through with it. And you can do this with anything. Set yourself a deadline and make sure that something else I want to share that I recently learned is really make sure that you do any necessary prep work before you do something. So if you're like, you can even have an intention like this, like I want to get a job by this date. Well, if you're not applying to jobs, that's not going to happen and it's going to create stress. So obviously you need to do the prep work up until that time, and that's more masculine energy. Pull a card on this masculine and feminine energy balance, like which one is dominating. Okay, so this is going to be this is kind of our integration, and then I'll pull a masculine and a feminine. So these just flipped right out. Well, we did get the Hierophant. We got 2 cards for each. Okay, so it's hard to kind of tell what's dominating because that's going to be individual, but this is what we got for the masculine. So we got the Hierophant, which is all about tradition, spirituality, religion, kind of contracts, anything that's that is kind of going, I like to think of it as like the spiritual system meets the legal system a little bit. And then we have the 6 of Swords, which is about moving on. And especially swords are mental energy, intellect, mind. So it's moving on more intellectually. This card is pretty similar to the 8 of Cups, which is more about moving on from something emotionally. So that's kind of what's happening on the masculine side. So I would say if anyone's having issue with drive, it could be because there's still something that needs to be left behind. It's like you can't start building the new until you've gotten rid of the old. And the masculine definitely needs to, kind of come into their, I want to say, spiritual power. And then for the feminine side, we have the Fool reversed and the Queen of Cups. So this is really, the Queen of Cups is water of water. So it's very emotional, intuitive, very much the divine feminine. And you just pulled the 6 of Swords in regard to this question as well. That's amazing. And then the Fool reversed is about not wanting to take risks, not wanting to take a chance. So I'm going to pull another for the masculine side. But what I'm getting here intuitively is that the feminine is so into her emotions and her intuition that she's actually kind of holding the masculine side of us back because she's afraid to like move and take a risk and take a leap of faith. She just kind of wants to sit, and how she's like looking at this treasure thing. She just wants to like sit in that energy and not act. And then the masculine has some action here about moving on, but I want to see what else we might pull for them, because I have a sense that they're I want to see if there's more drive and forward moving energy in them, or if it's more about leaving the old behind. Okay, so we got the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. This is really interesting. I feel like what the cards are saying is just like that they need to come together, right? And this is why we talk about union and twin flames. It's not a romantic thing. It's about that integration again. And if you have the external union, then it's an indication of your inner union. But really, like, we can do this work on our own. We can do the union work on our own internally. So this is about kind of it's a new beginning, a new creative venture, possibly. And then the Queen of Pentacles is about nurturing, being a provider, and it's more divine feminine energy, but it's more of the divine feminine energy in the physical, whereas this one's more in the emotions. So to me, this is saying there's something that the masculine side of us, or the masculine person in your life, needs to move on from in order to get to this spiritual place within themselves. And it's actually going to bring them towards the feminine. So we're just, the two sides are integrating. And I'm going to pull some more cards for the feminine side. So again, this is, you can interpret this however it resonates. If it resonates as you and another person, that's great. If it resonates internally, which I encourage you to always, ask Spirit to give you those messages specifically, because that's what we're able to do, right? We can't really affect another person. We can only affect ourselves. And they say on the journey, affecting ourselves does affect the other person if we have that bond. So we got Queen of Swords and the Two of Cups. So this is about partnership, and this another Queen energy. So much Queen energy. What I'm hearing is the feminine knows she's in her power when she has that masculine integration. This Queen is specifically more, she's more driven. She's a little bit more not cold. It's like, I really think of it kind of as I have a lot of Capricorn energy in my chart, so I think of it as the stereotype of Capricorn, where it's like cold and calculating and just about business, and that's kind of how she can come across. But it's her intentions are pure. She will basically tell it like it is. And hi, Laura. I'm doing a live reading. This is Kelsey with Igniting Insight. You can introduce yourself to all of us and let you know where you're from. And so we're actually talking about integrating divine feminine and divine masculine energy within ourselves. So we've gotten a lot of Queen energy, and this Queen, I was saying, is she'll tell it like it is, but it's from an emotionally grounded place and with good intentions. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. And I want this to be a back and forth, and that kind of feedback is really helpful to let me know that what I'm doing is useful to you, and I'm not just here rambling. But yeah, I'm really glad to do these, and I'll let you know what my schedule is, and then I always post things in advance. As far as I try to give you some notice when I'm going to go live, so that you can prepare or join if you want to. So it's really about it's a mental intention to move towards this partnership and this union. And again, we can see it as in ourselves or with another person. But today's an interesting day. It's 7/7. It's my brother's birthday. Actually, my brother is younger. He's just graduated high school, and I saw a post from someone else recently that said twin flames always have the same life path number. And I was like, I don't know. And I had recently kind of gotten back into numerology a little bit, just, things kind of enter into our sphere, into our consciousness. And, oh, that's great. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, there's, we're all, I feel like I could say a lot about different readers, but I won't go into that right now. I do think it's important to be able to see me and be able to see what my intentions are and to feel that, because I don't think that every reader necessarily has the intentions that I would like to see, if that makes sense. But I digress about that. So it's 7/7, and numerology just kind of came back into my consciousness as these things do. It's like something will pop up that's like, oh, look into this, and then you just do. And I had relearned that my life path number is 7, and then when I saw this post about them being the same with your twin flame, I looked at his, and his is also 7, and today is 7/7, and I think that's why we're talking about twin flames today, because it's all this synchronicity, and it's a meaningful day. So that's just a little side note. So I hope this was helpful. I think really the bottom line message is we do have movement towards this union within ourselves. And really it's about the feminine utilizing her masculine energy to actually move and make choices that will move her towards inner union. And then for the masculine, it's about kind of embracing the feminine. So I kind of see it as I like that term, actually, embracing the feminine, because he's already got the drive to move, right? He's already able to move, because that's what masculines do. They take action. But what he needs to do is really get into the spiritual and feminine side and really kind of start vibrating at that level so that we can come together. No. Yeah. That's why I say, so you say, Owen saying she shies away from any instruction that says something always has to be a certain way. And I totally agree with that. And I market myself as a tarot reader, you could say, as someone that I'm not going to tell your fortune. I'm going to tell you what the current energies are right now and give you guidance on how to maybe move through that and how to deal with that. But I think there's a lot of fear actually towards tarot readers, and it's coming from people that think it's all about fortune telling. And I actually have a friend that is very much from that kind of place, from that mindset. And it's interesting to speak to her and to try to kind of convey myself and my intentions with this and to make that something that she can understand. Yeah, so I just love this. I just want to keep reading for you guys, but I don't want to, let this go on forever. Does anyone have any more questions or things that are unclear, things that what they would like guidance on? And then I might wrap up with just go ahead and plug my personal readings one more time, because that's how we manifest more in our lives, is by giving personal service to people. So yeah, and I see a couple people popped off, so I think we're kind of wrapping up. I'm gonna pull one more oracle card just to wrap up the reading, and see what final message we can get from Spirit. Woo. Ambition. May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. Please use me for the highest good. This is very much a masculine card, very much again about that drive. So we kind of, again, this reading is all about integration and it's all about balance. And I really want to give the message of hope that this is the energy we're in and this is where we're heading. So that's all for this reading. Again, my private readings are half-an-hour sessions for $33, and you can ask any questions you want. It's going to be free form, so we can really get the guidance that you need in the moment. And if you schedule by July 17th, you will get a free bonus, which is a personalized eclipse reading. So I'm going to look at your natal chart and to tell you what the July eclipses mean for you. So yeah, and then I will be going live again on Wednesday evening. I don't know what time zones you are all in, but I'm in Pacific time, and it'll be sometime in the evening, probably around 7 p.m. Pacific time. But again, I will let you know, and I'm going to try to create a calendar to make it a little bit more consistent, and so that if you really want to come join these, you will know, well in advance when they are. So thank you everyone that participated for bringing your energy and your positivity. I appreciate it so much. And I hope you all are having a great Sunday, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Bye.